Hey friends, this is Himanshu here. I'm here to talk about some of the key decisions that the IPL franchises have taken today. And what we saw today was a lot of good players that were released from their franchises. Some of them maybe not as useful to the franchise anymore as the thought was when the team was being built at the last mega auction. Some of the players have underperformed. That was another reason why people got released. And the third thing that was observed was that some of the players are too expensive and the franchise may want to buy them back but at a lower price. So, in this series of videos, I'm going to talk about the franchises and their decisions based on releasing the players. Let's start off with the first one being the biggest player that got released this set of releases from the IPL franchises. That player being Steve Smith, and yes, I'm talking about the Rajasthan Royals. The release of Steve Smith was a big decision. It was, I'm sure, a very difficult decision for the Rajasthan Royal management, but they did go for it. As a cricket fan, I was thinking that this decision will be taken, but closer to the mega auction, which is before the next IPL in 2022. I'm surprised that they took this strong decision right before the IPL 2021, but we'll see what happens in the auction again. There is a chance that they may want to buy him back at a cheaper price, but there are so many other franchises who would love to get the services of Steve Smith. A couple of examples of that would be someone like a Chennai who wants to have a future captain. Maybe they get him, and looking at the future, maybe they want someone to take over from Dhoni. So, who is it? Is Steve Smith a good answer to that question? The next team that I think would love to have services of Steve Smith is Kings 11 Punjab. I think they released Maxwell, so they will need experienced international cricketer. So they may also be someone who will bid for Steve Smith big time. So this is what I think about Steve Smith. He is someone who is an asset to any team he joins. His IPL record may not be the best as of today, but I think the potential that he brings to the team and the match winning capability, future captaincy, all of that adds to his value. And he's a very dynamic player. He can change the game. He can play the role of a stable guy for you, or he can even hit out the bowlers. So stay tuned for Steve Smith and his IPL auction stock. I think he's going to go for a big price. There is a lot of international cricket behind him, and I think he's going to do really well. The second big player who got released by Rajasthan Royals is the West Indies quick O'Shane Thomas. He is a prospect that intrigued a lot. A lot of interest was shown in him last IPL auction. Didn't really get too many chances with Rajasthan because of the foreign player contingent that they have. He's someone who may be useful to some of the other teams, but I'm actually thinking that there's a chance that he may even go unsold for this year's IPL. He did reasonably well in the Caribbean Premier League, but not sure if an average, above average fast bowler will still have that much value in the upcoming IPL. Stay tuned for that. More on that once we come closer to the auction. The next big player I think was Tom Curran. He played a few matches for Rajasthan. He did really well, but having Jofra Archer and Ben Stokes in the mix already, having another all-rounder, I think they may have thought that they may be able to either fill in with an Indian all-rounder, someone like Tewatia, or they may even be able to solicit the services of someone else from the auction pool. So Tom Curran is a great all-rounder. He can give a lot of value through his opening bowling or even in the death overs, and then he can hit some lusty sixes at the end of the game. So I think he'll be purchased by someone. Maybe even a Chennai would show interest. Sam Curran is already there. Tom Curran would add additional value. Another team that I think would be appreciative of his services could be someone like a KKR. They have Andre Russell, but with the injury history that Andre Russell has had and the amount of bowling that he does, there may be a chance and opportunity for them to go for someone like a Tom Curran here. The next set of people who got released were three Indian quicks: Varun Aaron, Akash Singh, and Ankit Rajput. Akash Singh is a under 19 star. He played in the last under 19 World Cup with Kartik Tyagi, who was his teammate at Rajasthan Royals. Kartik Tyagi has been retained, but Akash Singh has been let go. I think he's a very promising youngster. There's a chance that some of the teams who are looking for young Indian fast bowlers may go for him. Varun Aaron, he's been a journeyman. He's played with a lot of teams. He didn't get a chance to play too much with Rajasthan, but he's been with their squad for 2 3 years, I think. So there's a chance that that Varun Aaron may not get picked this IPL, and this could have been his last team because he hasn't really played too much cricket with COVID and all of that. A lot of the players did not get a chance to showcase their capabilities. The last one is Ankit Rajput. Ankit Rajput has done really well with Punjab. That's why he got bought by Rajasthan at a good price. But he didn't really get to play too many games with Rajasthan, and whatever games he played, he wasn't really super successful. Again, he's someone who can perform very well, but he needs a good wicket and he needs the backing. Maybe Kings XI Punjab can still go for him again and bring him back to their fold. I hope he gets picked by someone because I think he's a great prospect and he can give excellent value to the team that buys him. And I do think of him as someone who can be a reliable bowler, either opening the bowling or even occasionally at the death overs. He's mainly a opening bowling specialist, I would say, not more for the death overs, but I think he can still bowl an over or two in the death if the need be, depending on the team combination that is being played. A couple of youngsters that got released, Anirudh Joshi and Shashank Singh, they are good players, but they are so young, they are still learning. It will be very helpful for them to go and play domestic cricket, play more T20, prove themselves, and come back into the fold of the IPL. There is a chance that they may get bought for their base price by some team who's trying to build some bonus bench strength, but highly unlikely at this time, I would think, for them to get picked. So that's my take on some of the releases from Rajasthan Royals. Couple of surprises. I know there were a lot of people who were calling for Jaydev Unadkat's head and he wanted him to be released. But I think Rajasthan Royals management still has faith in Jaydev Unadkat. He's not had the best of the last 2 3 seasons, but there's still an opportunity for him to prove himself. He again, I think, is a good prospect. He's a good bowler. He's represented India. He has the Yorkers. He can bowl well in the death. I hope all of that promise materializes this season and he can give Rajasthan the season that Rajasthan has been longing from him for a long time. They've shown a lot of faith. It's time for him to repay. Another big news, Sanju Samson. He is going to be Rajasthan Royals captain for the next IPL and I'm thinking for some years to come. He is a great batsman and I love the way Sanju Samson handles himself on the field. So he's already captained Kerala as well. So I think he's been given enough experience to lead a team, and he'll be a good captain for Rajasthan Royals. The team is strong. There are few players from the international arena who are match winners by themselves: Ben Stokes, Jofra Archer, Butler. We'll see how it goes, but I think Rajasthan, if they can make some good picks in the auction, they may have a chance to qualify this year. It again all depends on the performance of their key star players from the international arena and also Sanju Samson. So stay tuned for more information and updates on some of the other teams and their releases from this season. I'll come back with my next one, which is going to be Royal Challengers Bangalore, who made a lot of changes and releases, some surprising ones. So I'll go in depth with RCB did for their team and what are some of the things that were important in their releases. So thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, share, subscribe to my channel, and I'll come back more with more cricket related videos.